We are in the last segment. We are downhill from here, baby. Right, Deez?
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell you. Okay. So normally we've got some off-kilter stories, funny stories, whatever we want to go through. I got to get this one out there real quick. I forgot about this. This is, my favorite person in the world is Chris Christie, right?
I thought it was a three-way tie between John Fetterman,
and Sam Brinton.
Thunberg, and Sam Brinton. But.
Yeah. Chris Christie, I hate this man with a passion. He is such a rhino, it makes me want to throw up every time I look at him. He thinks he can be president. He can't even push himself away from the dinner table.
Yeah, he doesn't have a prayer.
No, he doesn't have a prayer. He doesn't. He's hot air. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I get people can be overweight. I get that. A lot of people are overweight in this country. But nobody's going to vote for him. I know that sounds bad, but you want somebody to look presidential that looks like they have control over themselves and want to take care of themselves. That's the first thing about Chris Christie. The second thing about Chris Christie is he goes on CNN, State of the Union, and says stupid things. He was on there Sunday, and he was asked his thoughts on Republican governors placing more bans on gender reassignment surgeries and puberty blockers for minors in their states, which you and I have agreed on. That has to happen. We can't be doing this to the kids.
Yeah.
Okay? That's got to stop. And Republicans right now are the ones that do it. This was his response. And this guy's running for president as a Republican for president of the United States of America. And when you look at the support that Donald Trump has, that's where the majority of the conservative and Republicans are going, is with Trump. This is what he had to say. All right? Quote, I don't think that the government should ever be stepping into the place of the parents and helping to move their children through a process where those children are confused or concerned about their gender. Christie said, defending minors' access to sex change procedures. He went on, what I would like to make sure each state does is require that parents are involved in these decisions. This is what he told Jake Tapper. The fact is that folks who are under the age of 18 should have parental support and guidance and love as they make all the key decisions of their life, and this should not be one that is excluded by the government in any way. So what he's saying is the government should be allowed to come in here and step in between a minor wanting to mutilate their body and whether their idiot parents agree with it or not. This is no different, in my opinion. Okay, some people would look at that and go, well, yeah, I don't want the government stepping in. Somebody's got to step in here. It's like if there was a pedophile and Chris Christie said, well, we can't step in and stop him from abusing this young kid. That's not our job. The pedophile's his father. They have a agreement to this. It's consensual. We can't step in and stop that. Now, that's exactly what this is, in my opinion. Chris Christie is copping out, and why he would do this, why he would go on Jake Tapper, okay, on Meet the Press or whatever it was, and why he would say this, and he's actually got a straight face, and he's running for president for the Republican nomination. What do you think?
I mean, that's one of any chance that he had of garnering any kind of votes to actually challenge for this thing ended with that statement.
It's done.
Yeah.
He won't get anything.
I mean, he didn't have a chance anyway, but I mean, that is one of the main platforms that people are talking about, that the GOP is against trans rights, blah, blah, blah. And so for him to come out in support of that, I don't know, is he trying to pull Democratic voters to his side but yeah, to me, that's career suicide.
It was absolutely career suicide. And he shouldn't have even been in the race. He shouldn't have been allowed to run as a Republican after single-handedly getting Barack Obama reelected. That's my opinion. Deez, what do you got?
Did you see somebody posted a tweet this morning of Christie on a commercial flight?
Was he taking up 3 seats?
3-seat I'm going to show it on the video, so if you're listening at home, you're going to have to watch this on YouTube. I'm going to put it on the screen there.
That's his new nickname, 3-seat Christie. Oh, my God. Look at that. Looks like a beached whale. God's sakes, man. Have some pride in yourself.
Right. Let me blow that up.
Are you kidding? Go and watch segment 7 on YouTube if you can do it.
This is segment 8.
Or segment 8.
Yeah, this is segment 8. And yeah, he's out like a light. You know who I feel bad for? The person you can barely see their arm, but there's somebody sitting next to him.
Have you ever seen the movie The Meaning of Life by Monty Python?
I have not.
He reminds me of Mr. Creosote. If anybody that's listening has ever watched The Meaning of Life, Mr. Creosote. That is exactly what Chris Christie looks like on this commercial flight. It almost looks like a guy in a fat suit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, the dude's huge. He just do the push-aways,
He don't
man.
miss too many meals, that's for sure.
Chris Christie is on the seafood diet. He sees food and he eats it. That's all I got to say about that. All right, Deez, go on into it.
Here's some not good news. From the New York Post, husband accused of drugging wife filming at least 51 men.
Wait, I got to say this. If you got youngins in the room, send them out.
Yes,
this
is
appropriate for young kids.
Yes. 51 men of sexually assaulting her over a 10-year period. A French man accused of drugging his unsuspecting wife and then filming at least 51 men engaging in sexual acts with her over a decade-long stretch, allegedly insisted to investigators that she is a saint and the love of his life. Really? That's your statement?
Well, how smooth. He
Yeah.
could sell ice water to an Eskimo, couldn't he?
The husband, identified only as Dominique P., allegedly mixed the anti-anxiety drug lorazepam into his wife's dinner dozens of times between 2011 and 2020, prosecutors alleged in a recent court filing obtained by Le Monde. Dominique, who was married to the victim for more than 50 years, would then invite his guests to the couple's home in Provence so that they could allegedly perform acts on his wife while she was passed out. The husband, who prosecutors say found the alleged perps on a French internet forum, allegedly filmed the rapes on hidden cameras. After the sick allegations first came to light in 2020, Dominique, who shares 3 adult children with the victim, allegedly told investigators in subsequent interrogations that he still loves his wife and describes her as a saint.
He needs to be taken out back.
Yeah, a total of 51 men between the ages of 26 and 73, diversity, have already been charged with rape over the attacks on his wife. It wasn't immediately clear what charges the husband is facing. The case was recently presented to an investigating magistrate, otherwise known as a judge, pending trial. The allegations only surfaced in late 2020 when Dominique was arrested for allegedly trying to film women in a changing room at a local store with a hidden camera, and the cops subsequently found the videos of his wife saved on a USB file named Abuses.
This guy needs to be eradicated. People like that need to be eradicated.
Yeah.
All right, they need to be stopped.
When authorities went to the wife, she initially described him as a great guy who was kind and caring. And then they showed her the evidence, and of course she broke down and she
How did she not put that together though? How did she not know she had had sex? I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know.
I don't know. She said that she had flashbacks and that the drugging could explain the fatigue and absent-mindedness that she had been experiencing.
Well, that's terrible, and I hope he gets passed around in a prison in France somewhere. So I got this story I want to get to, and I read this. This is New York Post, and I read this, and I was kind of skittish. I'm like, I don't think I want to read it, but I read it, and the headline is, "I'm a poop artist. Check out my crappy paintings."
I saw this on the pod earlier.
It says, this Picasso specializes in turning crap into gold. People actually buy this stuff. German artist Werner
Hold on,
Hartl-
let me stop you.
What?
If you're going to read this article, you have to give it the certain panache. This Picasso, like the writing of these guys are amazing.
I agree. New York Post is awesome. So anyway, if you don't mind, I'm going to get back to the story now since we don't have a lot of time. German artist Werner Hartl, 45, specializes in creating elaborate paintings out of cow dung, which he proudly showcases for fans like a veritable Da Vinci of doo-doo. Is that better?
Yes.
I just use cow manure to create my art. The would-be Dungatello told Cater's News of his smelly medium, which actually isn't as odoriferous as one would suspect. I said that word. When it is wet, the paint is a bit funky. Yeah, he told Ripley's Believe It or Not in 2022, but when it's completely dry, it doesn't smell anymore. Well, anybody that grew up in the sticks knows that, cow patties aren't really that bad. But I was expected to read it, and this guy's like, he's producing his own paint.
When I saw the headline, that was my initial thought as well. It's still, I mean, if you look at the actual pictures, he's a talented guy.
He is.
This is simply a niche in that it's getting people to talk about it. Like, hey, I could paint this picture with paint, but nobody's going to care. It's going to look like anybody else. But if I come out and say this is cow poop, then it becomes a story, and as it has.
And I can see why people would buy it. He is a good artist.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
very good.
actually, he's a pretty crappy artist if you ask me.
Yeah, no,
but
he's extremely crappy.
that's just my opinion. This is the El Donzo and Deez show. We are wrapped up. We appreciate everybody listening, and we will catch you next weekend